Hello and welcome along to the Project Cars 2 Virtual Racing League, where you join us here today for what promises to be a fascinating round 3 of the IndyCar Championship that we are running on the Xbox platform as ever. The drivers are fresh off the ovals at the Tri-Oval Circuit, I think it's called. Well, I don't know, all ovals are the same to me. But anyway, we're back on a proper racetrack today, and it's the first of 2 legs at this Indianapolis circuit. Today is the road course version, followed by the ovals next time out. Last time on the ovals, it's Stuart Davis who took the win there, so really closed things up in the front of the championship. Alex DDL still leading the way by a few points ahead of Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis, joint second there. Stalker Brown, Roger the Dodger, Sabrosa and Luke McGee rounding up top 7. And it's a tight midfield pack as well with Twingotastic, Free Gazelle, Alex Brown, McEvs, D-Man 221, Mr. Roxlon and BTCC Dan as well making a return, those two. So always good to see those guys back on the grid, Team Crash and Bash. But I think they're only present for the ovals because I'm not such a fan of these IndyCar road circuit cars that we're running here today. In the team standings, let's not forget, it's a team sport as well. Confusingly named Alex Brown team leads the way on 112 points. Just ahead of Team Spin, that's Roger the Dodger and Stuart Davis, so they had a good time out last time. Good haul of points in second there, puts them up ahead, Scuderia Man. Lukey Gazelle is in 4th, not too far off the pace there. Let's have a little look at the starting grid today, Ian.
Yep, so starting on pole we've got Scuderia Sam followed by Roger the Dodger. Those two have been up there in recent battles, so look forward to more of that today with Alex CDL, Stuart Davis behind, D-Man, Free Gazelle, Twingotastic, the Kevs, Looking G and Crazy Throughput joining us for this one, so there should be an interesting day ahead.
Yeah, let's hope these drivers have practiced a bit here and they're not thinking it's the old race circuit that Formula 1 used to use, because it's a little bit different these days. And off the grid they go. An excellent start from the 2 blue machines there, skiding their way through the field as the Doomsday cars on the... Oh, the 2 blue machines have tangled, I think, and that's Alex... Oh no, who's that? Up in the green car, I can't remember who it is, but he's up and over. Then they're into turn 1, absolute carnage in the back there. It's Roger the Dodger who's taken the lead. Is it just Sanders? Sam's got back in front, ahead of Roger the Dodger, Alex DDL, Stuart Davis. He's got Stewpot as well as in the mix, I think, is he? Quite possibly. But now it's Roger the Dodger taking the lead and Alex CDL following through now as well. It's Stuart Davis hot on their heels, so the front 4 breaking away. It's Luke McGee up to 5th now, ahead of Free Gazelle. And Stuart Davis having a little look down the inside of Scuderia Sam having a look down the inside of Alex CDL as well. But they all just about managed to get it stopped in time without hitting each other. And Stuart Davis has got a great run here, and he goes down the inside. Oh, getting very tight there indeed. Some bodywork going flying, but as ever, it's only cosmetic damage, so it shouldn't make any difference to the performance of these cars. But frantic opening a few corners there for the front 4, and absolute carnage towards the back. We've got Twingotastic right at the back, D-Man as well, McEvs, Crazy Stewpot is in the wars. There's Luke McGee, we're looking at in 5th now. He's just ahead of Free Gazelle in 6th place. Free Gazelle quite likes the ovals. He had a bit of a coming together at the last race, unfortunately for him losing out on the win there, but he'll be keen to make amends today, I'm sure, battling away in the midfield with Luke McGee as Stuart Davis lines up his rival now, Scuderia Sam, just up ahead there. And I think there's a lot of work to do now for the likes of McEvs, D-Man, Twingo and Crazy Stewpot, who were all involved at the start there, Ian, and what seemed to be a massive crash. I'm not quite sure who caused that. I don't know if you can shed some light, Ian.
Yeah, it was just like one of the blue cars was into the wall, and then I think it was D-Man just got tossed up in the air as sort of the carnage took place. But here he is recovering, putting a move on McEvs there. So McEvs overcooked it a wee bit and he's spun out there, but managed to get round and get going again. But yeah, D-Man on a bit of a recovery drive after a very unfortunate start for him. But he's shown some good pace, so yeah, hopefully he'll be able to get himself back into contention. Look at 2 teammates, Free Gazelle and looking bit squirrely there from Free Gazelle, just trying to make it past the teammate, but he just on the inside there. But yeah, defending quite hard at the moment, but yeah, Free Gazelle looks like he's got a bit of pace here and be wanting to get ahead if he can as he looks around the outside.
It's a very tricky corner that Luke McGee just ran a little bit wide on, because it really closes up on you, but you want to get that throttle there because you've got this long straight there, and Free Gazelle's right in the slipstream here of car number 14, and he pulls out alongside. He's going down the inside, is he? Oh, and they tangle Luke McGee there, just trying to close the door, and Free Gazelle stuck his nose down the inside, and that was inevitable, but somehow they managed to pretty much get away with that and carry on as they are. Free Gazelle minus his front wing now, but shouldn't make too much of a difference. And he's going to have to look in his wing mirror soon, because D-Man is absolutely on a charge here. He's just on a 112.9, which is right up there with the leaders' sort of lap times. So D-Man's got some serious pace. He'll be joining this little battle soon, I'd imagine. A three-way battle it'll be then. So will the teammates here... Oh, and I was going to say, will the teammates work together? But that's Luke and McGee now doing donuts, so they won't be working together anymore at this rate. And Free Gazelle says, thank you, I'll take 5th. And they will have to focus on defending from the Irishman. What happened there with Luke and McGee? Just lit up the rears by the looks of it.
Yeah, lit up the rears. Free Gazelle's putting him under a bit of pressure, and he just looks like he's made a wee mistake, and it's put him round. So bit of hustle from Free Gazelle there to force a mistake out of his teammates and free himself up, because he needs to get a move on with D-Man looking very racy behind him. So yeah, a wee bit unfortunate there as we look at Alex closing on Roger at the front, but he's looking really good at the front just now. So and he's had some good pace in the last few races, so he'll be wanting to convert this one if he can.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean Roger, he's had pace for a long time, this Roger, especially in these open wheel high downforce cars. He seems to like them. He went well in Formula C too. Unfortunately, he had a few little errors which cost him a lot of points, but he's really showing what he's made of out there in front. He came together with Scuderia Sammers, who were battling for the lead in the ovals, didn't they? Both cost them heavily, so I think he'll be out to prove a point here today, will Roger. And Championship leader Alex is having a hard time at the moment, staying with him, 2.6 seconds back. Scuderia Sam 5 seconds back, and then Stuart Davis 7 seconds back. So it's quite a sort of, it's a close front 4, well even front 6 you could say actually at the moment, but it's kind of stagnated a little bit. So all the drivers just seeing where they are, waiting for the fuel to burn off a little bit before making their mandatory pit stops, as we look at D-Man now starting to bear down a little bit more on Free Gazelle. And what's the best place to overtake on this circuit, would you say?
I think coming out the last corner here, kind of where you get the bit of the run, you get the slipstream on the oval, and then as you see D-Man, just got to pick your moment and try and take the momentum. But he's a bit far away there, but that's definitely where you're kind of carrying the speed out, and you're just trying to get a good line on the car in front. So he's got the right idea there. He'll be looking to see if there's any other opportunities. Is that Stewpot just spinning on the grass there? Oh, but yeah, it's that sort of, we see D-Man trying to line him up, but he knows where to pick his spots. It's just be interesting to see if Free Gazelle can defend it. Oh, it's a bit aggressive defence there, but no damage done. You see
Stu Davis, is it?
Stuart Davis dropped back, yeah. It looks like he's spun out somewhere, so that's given D-Man jumping in, but yeah, don't quite know what happened there. He's got a bit of work to do now as well.
Well, it is easy to light up the rears of these cars. They're very powerful, 750 horsepower or thereabouts. Dallara chassis, or they're all one make chassis, but you can have a choice of Chevrolet or what's the other one? Honda, isn't it? The two engine types. So I don't know whether one's more kind of spinny-uppy, that's not a word, is it? More torque maybe than one of the others, I'm not sure. But yeah, some of the drivers certainly battling with these cars, especially on the high fuel levels. They've only done 6 laps so far, so still burning off that fuel. We're waiting to see whether it gets a little bit more edgy, the cars, a bit later on, and drivers can handle them a little bit better, especially coming through that chicane there. If you've got a loose setup, that chicane, we've seen drivers in practice really struggling there, haven't we? With a loose setup, as D-Man now homes in on his prey. Yeah,
I think with the cars, the Honda seems to be better around the ovals, but the Chevrolet seems to have the slight advantage on the circuits. So being a circuit today, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out with the drivers today. But yeah, it just seemed to like, as you say, it's easy to light up the rears and you just got to watch when it goes. So as we see the D-Man, and I think this might just be able to force his way through here. He's got the inside and just firmly putting Free Gazelle down a place as he gets out, got a wee run on the bank, and so that's putting him through here. Davis to do the same.
Yeah, let's not forget the drivers have got 10 boosts to use during the race as well. I'd imagine they're all using them down this straight. Here's Free Gazelle says to Stuart, no, don't come through on the inside today. I'm going to try and get D-Man slipstream if I can and stay ahead of you, Stuart, as D-Man now... I mean, Freakazel did a great job of defending there, actually, because D-Man was really on a move, wasn't he, with his lap times that he was showing. Very impressive pace indeed, and Freakazel managed to keep him behind for quite a while there, but getting a bit out of shape in that chicane now. Going down the back straight, Stuart might have a chance here. And that's Freakazel, is it? No, yeah, Freakazel. So he has a bit of a poor exit onto that straight. Oh, he's going down the inside over the curbs. And Stuart Davis saw him coming, I think, in the wing mirrors, because he left plenty of room there on the inside, but managed to make the move stick. So Stuart now is up and looking to charge now after D-Man for 4th and 5th position, and Freakazel needs to stick with these two now if he can, because if he can stay with them, he'll have a chance to get those positions back once they make their pit stops. And we are expecting drivers to change their tyres here, because the tyres do seem to be going off after a few laps. And Stuart Davis, his tyres do seem to be going off now because he ran a little bit wide. This might give Freakazel a chance straight back here if he gets in the slipstream coming down the straight.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, it's like picking a moment that you don't want to drop too far back either, with the potential drafting opportunities got here. The Freakazel track goes up on Stu again. Just not enough, but he's got the right idea, and he's should put again. Getting out of the way as I come through, but yeah, certainly been a fun battle with Freakazel and a few drivers today already.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a lot of fun out there, but I'd imagine he'd be having more fun if he was leading. He's very competitive, as all these drivers, of course. Once their virtual helmets go on and they're behind their controllers and behind their steering rig setups or whatever they're running at home, then it gets very competitive indeed. But Roger the Dodger, he's got 2.8 seconds, still 5 seconds covering the top 3, so nothing really has changed much here. Scuderia Sam, pole position sitter. He doesn't tend to get pole positions very often, but he does find himself in the top 3 now after the first few laps, so he'd be quite happy with that, I'd imagine. He's not far behind Alex CDL, who's his main rival at the moment in the championship, so if he can keep him in sight, I'd imagine he'd be looking to jump him at some point.
Yeah, definitely. It's with it being so tight at front, there's always one opportunity for a good pit strategy to make a move, so yeah, they just kind of carefully watch themselves. We look again at Freakazel, who's still in touch and distance of Stuart Davis, but is starting to drop back a bit, so we'll be starting to think about that as well, strategy when to come in, and to look at Stuart coming through there, and yeah, he's certainly starting to make a bit of a break for it as we look at the pace. He's currently second and a half up on Freakazel in lap 5, so we'll be looking to close down on D-Man again, and another wee battle there.
Yeah, the pit lane, let's not forget. Pit entry is quite awkward here actually. Hopefully when they start coming in for the pits we'll be able to see that, but it's quite an awkward entry, and it's a very long pit lane being an oval too. So the drivers are going to have to factor that in, because they're going to lose a lot of time just trundling down that long pit lane. You see in the background, oh, there's a blue car round. That's either Twingo or Makev's, and so round there, see who's losing time on the thing there. It looks like, it's hard to tell actually, I'm not sure who it was, one of the blue machines, and nearly getting away there of Alex CDL and Scuderia Sam. So Alex CDL now takes to the grass a little bit. You can see those tyres are starting to go off a little bit there, but definitely gave him a little bit of a scare, I think, as he was right in the middle of the racing line, coming around turn 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that, especially such a bright blue car, you're gonna notice it pretty quickly coming in the corner there, and just try to keep out its way. But they'll manage to avoid there, and it's back underway again. But yeah, as we look at the two old sparring partners getting close together with G and Twingo, kind of 7th and 8th. But see if any battles between there today. As we look back at Stuart Davis now trying to get. Track goes in and again. That's Alex CDL going for his pits, and dropping back a bit with as you say, the long pit in here. So he's first to go. So he's we'll see how the others react to that.
Yeah, his car is up in the air, so his virtual invisible pit crew is doing his tyres for him. Oh, he comes out just ahead of D-Man as he's coming into the pits there. So lucky for Alex CDL, he didn't actually lose any time to D-Man. He just managed to get out ahead as D-Man's coming down the pits. Who's that? Someone else is in the pits too. It's Crazy Stupop. He's in the pit lane. He might be getting a fresh set of boots as well. We'll have to wait and see. as D-Man now pulls in. He's up in the air too, so his invisible virtual pit crew are also servicing his car and getting some new rubber on. The drivers, of course, have got two choices of tyre, haven't they? They've got the grippier one, the option, you could say, or the what's happened to Stewpot? His car's sort of up in the air at a weird angle, pointed at the sky. That doesn't look good for Stewpot. I think he might have retired, or maybe he's got disqualified for speeding in the pits or something. Yeah, that's not going anywhere in a hurry, is it?
No, he's kind of gone lounge style, being at the back. He's just taking it just doing a nice reclining job there, just taking it easy. So why not? Yeah, not what you want to see at this stage in the race, but. It's to see how that affects the others when as we look at.
Oh no!
Like, that's not going well there. Let's try and come into the pits. That's a bit reminiscent of the ovals last week with Sam and Roger having a wee incident as coming into the pits there. So luckily it didn't go quite as catastrophic well this week. But it's something to watch out for, as you say, with the placement in the pits. So we'll see.
I think Stuart Davis there, he sort of got stuck, didn't he, with either Twingo or McEvs spinning around, and he thought, I'll just cut across the grass and I'll take my stop now, why not? And maybe he'll lose a little bit less time by doing that, because otherwise he would have lost time all the way down the straight. So quite a tactical decision for Stuart there. See how it pays off for him, because he was fighting quite hard with D-Man, and D-Man is down in 8th at the moment. We'll have to wait and see where he's going to come round. And Stuart, we'll have to see how that shapes up. Roger Dodger still hasn't taken his stop, or Scuderia Sam. Alex EDL is back up there in 5th now, 45 seconds behind the leader. This man here, Roger Dodger, who goes round for another lap, so he's not coming in quite yet. And Alex EDL, I think I'm hearing, he's had the hard tyres fitted to his car rather than the softer tyres that the cars all start with. Scuderia Sam coming into the pits now, see what tyres he goes on. So this will be very interesting, see how close he is to Alex CDL. So Free Gazelle and Lukenberg G will flash past, I'd imagine, if they're not coming into the pits as well. And then we should see Alex CDL coming down the pit straight, and then Scuderia Sam will be somewhere roughly around there. Now Roger will be looking at that timing screen and thinking, is it time for me to come in as well? Because they were all separated by just 5 seconds at the front. So any small decision they make here, doing an extra lap on worn tyres, could really pay off for them, or vice versa, isn't it, Ian? It really is a critical stage of this race.
Yeah, definitely. You said the difference there with Alex coming on, going on for the harder tyres, so he's pitting a bit earlier, so he's taking the harder tyres, and how that pans out versus going a bit longer on the softer tyres and trying to make them last as long as possible. So it's a kind of critical stages where you go a bit early and get the harder tyre, or you kind of try and time it right in the middle, as I think Studio Sam was trying to do, try to just get the middle point and then just change out the same set of tyres. So we'll see how that plays out, but Roger definitely thinking about that now, having seen everyone behind him kind of come in and made their stops. So critical point in the race here.
Yeah, it's more or less as you were, because Scuderia Sam now is still behind Alex EDL by a second or two, and Stuart Davis is still behind D-Man by a second or two. So in the end it all sort of nothing happened basically, but hopefully something will happen before the end of this race, because so far let's be honest, Ian, nothing much has happened on track so far, has it? A couple of spins here and there, but we want to see a real fight towards the end, and hopefully we'll get it, because Scuderia Sam's on the softer tyre now, so we'll see whether that makes a difference between him and Alex CDL, the two championship rivals at the moment. So we see Luke McGee, the Flying Scotsman, coming around the last corner. He's got Alex CDL there coming at him quite quickly, but Luke McGee hasn't made his stop yet for fresh tyres, so that's that to bear in mind. Alex CDL, will Luke McGee put up a fight much with Alex CDL here today? Because it's not really his race on this race, is it, particularly?
No, it's not his race today, and he's on what will be fairly worn tyres now, so he might not be able to put up much of a fight with Alex in the fresh rubber. So we'll see what happens here, but definitely not expecting too much of a trouble here, given they're on different strategies, different points in the race. You see Alex been quite wide there on Luke McGee. He's in the slipstream, and just sails past here, just not wanting to get in each other's way, and Alex just wanting to get on with it, and would be just probably be thinking about pitting now, given that that's one leader's now back ahead of him. So now the time is Alex just looking to make moves with Roger still to contend with.
talking of Roger, he's in the pits for the looks of it. He's dropped second, and we have a new race leader in Free Gazelle. So Free Gazelle hasn't made a stop yet, and Luke McGee doing some lawn mowing on his way into the pits. Thankfully, he didn't go into that tyre wall, because that tyre wall will really mess you up, won't it, if you end up in there. Lose all your momentum. Roger the Dodger exiting the pits now, so how close is it going to be? This is critical. He comes out and he's behind Alex EDL, so staying on that one tyre hasn't paid off for Roger, but he is going to have a fresh set of soft rubber now to chase after Alex. So Alex is the only one of the top three to go with the harder compound tyres by the looks of it. So this might pay off for Roger here on the fresh tyres. He can get them up to temperature, up to speed quickly now, and he's right in the slipstream with Alex EDL. So it's very close out front now, with the net leaders are separated by just a few seconds, as they have been all race, to be honest. We haven't really seen any wheel-to-wheel action. And Roger, look how much grip he's got, how much front end. I think this could be critical, Ian. Alex EDL might have his work cut out here to keep him behind, and Scuderia Sam's hoping they come together so he can catch up as well.
Yeah, definitely. This is critical moment with Roger managing to eke out those soft tyres a bit longer, and Alex going earlier for the harder compound. So this could be critical for the outcome of the races. Look at Roger's a wee bit wide there. That'll bring Sam into play, and Sam's also on the soft tyres, so it's a good opportunity for these two if they can keep it going, just to close out Alex, especially towards the end of the race if we can, because that can be the critical difference here.
Yeah, and a lot of the drivers have been complaining too about a bit of aero wash in these cars. It's quite noticeable, so if you're within a couple of seconds on a circuit like this, even though it's not the heliest or most complicated of circuits, it's sort of a typical infield kind of circuit for an oval track with the oval around the outside and then a very flat bit of racetrack in the middle in the infield with a bit of grass, bit of gravel, what have you. It's not the most complicated of circuits, but yeah, you do have a lot of aero wash, and the drivers have been complaining about that, so that's probably why we haven't seen much wheel-to-wheel here, quite possibly. But Scuderia Sam had a little bit of a chance there with Roger. He couldn't quite take it, and now Roger seems to have got into a rhythm again, and he sets off again after Alex EDL. But all three cars, three leaders here in shot, as Free Gazelle now has taken his pit stop, so he's come out near Stuart Davis by the looks of it. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it was just ahead of Stuart Davis there, so that'll be very interesting to see them here. So that'll be tight as we look at Roger and Alex. But yeah, it's very exciting. Within about 2 seconds, top three within about 2 seconds at the moment. So could be tyres, as you say. They've got the slight aero wash coming off. So need to see if that is to see Roger just to hang back a bit. But he's definitely got good grip coming into the first corner there. He just can't make it count and just pick his moment. So yeah, it's going to could be an interesting last 10 minutes.
Yeah, certainly could. 2/3 of the way through the race now, so 30-minute race, of course, like you say. 10 minutes left. So Roger the Dodger, can he get past Alex EDL or not? Scuderia Sam, can he close the gap down a little bit more and have a chance? Anything could happen. Any one of those three could still win the race. And D-Man, to be honest, he's only 13 seconds back too. And we know how strong D-Man is at the end of races. He seems to really come alive on the lower fuel. So perhaps even don't count him out if something happens with these three up front, as Alex EDL runs a little bit wide there, but he manages to keep the lead. Roger the Dodger is only 2/10 back, and he's really in the slipstream now as they come back onto the oval section, round the last couple of corners here. Look at the cars squiggling and squirming for grip. The drivers are really pushing these cars as hard as they possibly can round these corners round here. It's quite tricky layout the last couple of corners. It's really tempting to get on the throttle early, and then you end up in the gravel, as we've seen a couple of drivers do. But then you get a good run onto the straight here, and Alex EDL is trying to break that toe slightly of Roger, but Roger's not going to be close enough again this time round as they head round for another lap. Scuderia Sam still in sort of keeping a watching brief at the moment.
Yeah, just hang back to see what happens as Roger pushing Alex very hard at the moment. Both working their tyres and giving all to kind of keep position. But yeah, as you see, Roger very close again here. He's got just not quite close enough. He's got good run and good positioning, but just not quite enough. But he's certainly a bit closer. But it's that combination at the end of the lap where you've got a few corners. You just need to get it right for the momentum to carry on to the back straight. Otherwise, you could be really struggling, as we're seeing here with Alex just trying to keep Roger behind him, but it's very tight, and Roger's very close here. But Alex just doing enough to keep him behind at the moment.
Yeah, two of the fastest drivers in the league, going absolutely at it right now in two of the fastest cars as well in the game as well, in Project Cars 2. So Alex CDL having to go very defensive this time around though. Roger the Dodger pulling alongside on the outside. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and outbrake him? He's going to try and stick him around the outside. Oh, and they touch a little bit, and Roger's lost his wing now. There's all bits of bodywork flying everywhere. Alex CDL managed to keep it pointed straight though. He's still in the lead, just ahead of Roger, and this has allowed Scuderia Sam to close up. So all top three now within a second of each other. This is fantastic racing here on this. Finally, we've got some fantastic racing on this circuit. I was going to say this amazing circuit. To be honest, I'm not that much of a fan. I preferred the old F1 circuit on this. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, the F1 circuit was a classic, but yeah, this is what now. But the guys today are definitely making most of it. With Roger getting really racy now, as in the closing stages, giving it all he's got to try and just get that. Because like earlier on in the race, he was in command, and he'll be wanting to re-establish that, given the pace he's had today. But Alex is making him work really hard for it, especially on giving on different tyres. But it's just for the moment as Roger gets on the outside. But again, just Alex making him work hard for it. If this is going to be the moment, and Sam's closing in behind too. So yeah, this could be all clear for here, as you see. He's round outside. That's it. That's the moment he's waiting for, and it looks like Roger's done it there. Round the outside, fantastic manoeuvre, and he's been working on that last few laps, so that was the moment he's been waiting for.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see him sizing up that manoeuvre, couldn't you, Ian? Like you say, the last couple of laps, and he managed to pull it off. Great overtaking manoeuvre there from Roger the Dodger. And he's in the lead now. It looks like he's got the pace to pull away. If anything, well, like you say, Ian, he had it all under control earlier on, didn't he? It's just the pit stop strategy slightly, which put him behind Alex CDL. And now Scuderia Sam's having a little look at Alex as well. So these two old rivals now going for it. See whether Scuderia Sam can also make his way back past Alex CDL, but we know how good Alex is defensively. But it does seem to be, Ian, that these softer tyres are the right way to go.
Yeah, it seems to be the
Stewart round.
He managed to get himself back underway again without too much incident. But yeah, it definitely seems to be soft tyres. If you can time it right, getting the soft, well, that's what Roger's done effectively. He's gone longer on the soft tyres, and then he's come out on a fresher set of soft tyres, and that seems to be the way to go here. As you see, Alex CDL on the harder tyres now dropping back into the clutches. Sam potentially is also on the soft tyres. So it seems to be a well-timed soft tyre swap seems to be the way to go today. As you see, it's getting very squiggly down here.
And there's a couple of cars there, both coloured blue, doing some donuts for the crowd. Makevs and Twingo. I don't know what they're doing there, having a little bit of a discussion and a bit of a debate over who owns 8th and who owns 9th position at the moment. But yeah, not sure what was going on there. We just sort of caught the aftermath of it. But it looks like they're having fun anyway.
That's what it's all about. It's, as you see, Scuderia Sam and Alex CDL having getting quite serious towards the end here, but Alex has just got the gap on him just now. But Scuderia Sam will be keen to have it on here if he can. But Alex will just be wanting to just consolidate second and see if he can finish there.
Well, these two now, Roger's a little bit further behind in the championship, so I'm not going to be too concerned with him breaking away up front and winning this one. And we know he's prone to a mistake though, so that might be in the back of their heads as well. But heading into the last couple of laps here is crucial for these two in their championship ambitions to finish ahead of one another, isn't it? And Scuderia Sam lining up Alex CDL taking a very early apex there, as if to say, you know, you're not going to come through there, not going to dive bomb me here. And Luca Magista is well out of the way there. He knows that's not his fight today, but he's going quite well there, up in 7th. Ahead of Twingo and ahead of Makevs as well. Looks like Makevs might have retired actually, because he's fallen quite far back now by the looks of it, along with Chris Stupot. He might be our second retirement. Alex CDL still covering the inside line, so look how defensive Alex CDL is now on these few laps. It does seem to suggest that his Scuderia Sam tried to avoid him there and nearly got caught out. It does seem to suggest that his tyres are really going off for Alex here, his harder tyres.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case. As he's now worked very hard here to keep his championship level behind him. And Sandro's a bit wide there, trying to get a different line on him to try and put a bit more pressure on him. But yeah, he definitely seems to be struggling there on the harder set of tyres. So this is the opportunity Sam been looking for as he's just closing in here. But again, Alex just doing enough to stay ahead here, but he's going to come under immense pressure here.
Yeah, Scooter Sam shaping up. Oh, he's doing for a dive down the inside. Alex Neal just sees him coming and avoids it. And very brave manoeuvre from Scooter Sam there. He kind of had to surprise Alex so to get past him because he was defending so well. But Alex Neal's not finished yet. Oh, and they touched slightly. Alex Neal tried to go back around the outside of Scooter Sam. And Scooter Sam still got the lead. Oh, and they come together. I think that was inevitable, to be honest, at some stage there. They avoided each other for so many corners, but fighting so hard. And in the end, Alex Neal tapped the rear slightly of Scooter Sam. Would you say just a racing incident, Ian, that one, or?
Yeah, just a racing incident. Sam was trying a few different lines just to unsettle Alex and get through. You saw that coming into at the back end of the lap, and then just a bit of weaving, just a bit out of position, and just it was just they were just pushing both so hard, and Alex on the different tyres that was just the difference, and then he spun out. So yeah, nothing, just a racing incident. Then nothing wrong with that, just pushing so hard. But that's also let a D-man through on Alex Neal, so that's been worked out rather well for Sam in the championship, given it dropped Alex a place.
It's crazy how alive D-Man comes towards the end of these races, isn't it? He's up there in third after being involved in that huge crash at the start, all the way back down there in 10th, and now he finds himself on the potential podium here with probably a lap to go now, as Marquez is confirmation that he's retired. He's still in the pits there. Crazy Stewpot is also he's left the circuit probably. Crazy Stewpot at this rate. Hopefully we'll see him again in the ovals next time out at Indianapolis Ovals. But yeah, Roger the Dodger, he won't care for what's going on behind him because he's cruising to a win as his teammate there, Stuart Davis, lets him go. He probably won't like watching that back, getting lapped. But Roger the Dodger well on his way now. He comes out the last few corners, or he's going into the last few corners, sorry, and he'll be very, very happy with that. He's pulled out a 7-second lead whilst all of that was going on behind him. So in the end, it was quite a comfortable win there for Roger, but he definitely had to work for that one, didn't he?
Sure was. I mean, top effort there. I mean, just picking the right time to go into the pits and pulling off an excellent win there, and he pulled quite a gap in the end there. Just picked the right moment. Thought he was maybe pushing it, staying out so long and dropping back, but picked the right moment, and he got a well-deserved win there, having shown great pace throughout the day. And he's excellent performance there, and Sam will be pleased with that. And championship still, it's worked out well for him too. So the after race show just starting.
Yeah, that's what all the virtual spectators have turned out to see, isn't it? Forget the racing. You just want to see the donuts, the fan favourites, and the after-race party. As Free Gazelle now, he'll be looking hopefully to join the after-race party soon. There it is. To 10-1. Look at all that. That's I don't know what that is actually. It's like Spa 1998.
Sure it is. That's the way what I see it is. I think that's Free Gazelle just coming over the line now. And great into this there, and fantastic win for Roger.
Yeah, absolutely. And Free Gazelle will be happy with that as well in 5th there, finished ahead of Stewart as well, and Ian as well, and Twingo and Marquez. So Free Gazelle will be very happy with that one. But look at D-Man. He was only 1 and a bit seconds off Scuderia Sam in 2nd in the end. I mean, why does D-Man come alive so much towards the end of races? It's incredible.
Much like the low fuel loads at the end of the race, so that seems to work for him.
Yeah, and it's closed up as well in the driver stand-ins now. It's elevated Roger after that went up into 3rd place, just ahead of Stuart Davis by 2 points. Funnily enough, it's 2 points the difference as well out in front between Alex Neal, still the championship leader, ahead of Scuderia Sam there. Luke McGee is in 5th on 51 points, ahead of D-Man, Free Gazelle and Stalker Brown, and in that sort of midfield battle. And then we got Sabrosa, who wasn't present today, Marquez, Twingotastic, Alex Brown, who did want to do this race, but unfortunately disconnected, had some internet problems when he was trying to join in qualifying. And then Mr. Oxon and BDC Zan, hopefully we'll see them back in the ovals next time out, Ian.
Yeah, sure, we'd see them. It's always interesting when they show up. So hopefully we'll see them out next time, and hopefully another good oval race for the championship. But yeah, great days racing there, and yeah, excellent win from Roger.
Yeah, Alex Brown, the team Alex Brown that is, they're down to third from first now, so it didn't work out so well for them today. Stalker Brown, he wasn't in that one, was he? Thinking about it. Remember we were talking about Stalker Brown? No, he wasn't, was he?
No, not today.
No, he wasn't. There was an important reason why he wasn't. Unfortunately, it's escaped my mind. But anyway, yeah, hopefully we'll see Stalker Brown along with everyone else out next time. And they'll be staying in virtual Indianapolis because it's the Indianapolis Ovals. So whoever likes ovals, don't forget to tune in and watch the next episode. So yes, thanks for watching from Ian and myself, and we'll see you next time.